to a series on Amazon Prime called Them. No spoiler alert, I haven't seen the whole thing. I'm only 4 episodes in. But it had me thinking critically about integration. Integration as practiced in America. And let me just set up the actual show. It follows a Black family from North Carolina. They go across country to California, end up settling in Compton, in a neighborhood in which they are the first Black family. So they integrate that whole side of town. They integrate Compton. It is all white. They meet a lot of resistance. And through this resistance, everybody faces an extreme amount of trauma. As you can imagine, 2 girls, mother, dad, everybody's totally traumatized. And it made me question the way that this part of history, the 1950s and 60s, and that part of the civil rights movement, the way that it was taught to me was that we are supposed to be just extremely grateful for these people that put their lives on the line in order to, integrate schools and neighborhoods and businesses. And I am grateful. I don't want to make it seem like I'm not grateful for what they did, but my critical consciousness can't allow me to watch such programs without saying, why would you subject your family to that? Like, was it really worth it? And are we better because of integration? And I remember watching all of these, like the Little Rock Nine, and even younger kids in elementary school, and a little Black girl, and she's marching to school to integrate a school, and it's like grown white adults throwing things at her and calling her monkeys and holding up signs, go back to Africa and all of this. And we're supposed to say, oh, what brave children. Oh, what brave little girls. Now I look at it like, what kind of parent allows their child to go to school in such a hostile setting? Not only in such a hostile setting, not only are they facing all this hostility on the way to school, but please believe that Black culture, that Black history is not going to be on the curriculum. Please believe they don't have Black teachers. And I question the approach of integrating schools with the children first, with no support structurally, with no support from the staff, and with no support from the surrounding community. Why would we use children as a guinea pig for this social experiment? That's first, and that's because there's a girl there, the 2 girls, one girl, the older girl in high school in the show Them, she ends up going into this all-white school, and she faces a lot of backlash, of course, from everyone. And so I just don't understand it. Why did history put such an emphasis on? Why does history? Well, the way it was taught to me, Black history, puts such an emphasis on us integrating into the white establishment as opposed to us building up our own. I look at integration even in terms of Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson wasn't the best player in the Negro Leagues, but Jackie Robinson was the person who could tolerate all of the abuse that would be heaped upon him by fans. And here's the story that they don't tell you about the integration of baseball. The Negro Leagues collapsed. How many Black owners do we have in football, baseball, and basketball right now? The answer is one. One Black majority owner, that's Michael Jordan, and that's because he made so many white people so many millions of dollars that they pretty much had to let him in. We had the Negro Leagues, all Black businesses, Black owners, Black athletes that were playing for Black fans. And after Jackie Robinson integrated, that whole business, all of those teams shuttered. And so when I look at this show on HBO, and I look at all of the abuse that this family experience, I now as a grown-up man, I don't know that that was worth it. Look at our communities now. We are the only group, speaking of African Americans, that occupy spaces in cities without owning the businesses in the cities. So we are allowed to go to all the diners and go to all the liquor stores and buy cars and go to all the electronic stores and the tech stores and all of that, and we own none of them. That is some of the fallout of integration. No other group experiences that. In the Mexican community, the Mexicans own the businesses in their community. That's part of what makes it their community. Same thing with the Chinese people. Of course, the same thing with white people. What exactly did integration get us except for more economic exploitation? So, all of this was triggered by this show called Them. And I want to ask you all, what do you think about integration? Are African Americans better off because we are able to live in white neighborhoods and go to white schools and patronize white businesses? Are we better off due to integration? Or did integration hurt us? This is a conversation I've been wanting to have for a long time. If you can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth right now, I want you to drop a response in the chat. I want to know. If you agree, let me know you agree. If you disagree, if you think what I'm saying is absolutely blasphemous to the ancestors and all of those that got spit upon and hit with bricks and so on and so forth, you think it's disrespectful, let me know. Drop something in the chat. And please, as always, don't forget, subscribe to the tribe. All right, peace, tribe.